complete freedom is not good friends with creativity. Like when you can say anything, that's not as interesting. Like you will have to come up with ways to say something when you're forbidden to say certain things. The question was, how much of your family's migration story is in this film? And I answered like, the story of my family is my family, even if I want it or not. And it's the same with films. Like I can hide my identity, but it's going to be in that film no matter what. So I would say there's a lot of me in this film, even to a point where very specific incidents that happened to me in school are in there. The scene where the kids get frisked, the scene where the teacher tells them to scream, all of that happened in my school time. And of course, also this whole identity thing where, you don't want to speak your own language because maybe you're ashamed, or the reason why the first kid that gets singled out is Turkish. So if you grow up as a brown person in Germany, it's like, you just get racially profiled for no reason. Or at the border here, you're being put in a room and you don't understand why. Is it because because of my name? Is it because of my heritage? With this film, I kind of realized that filmmaking is some sort of self-therapy to me. So you're trying to cope with the world, and you're trying to understand something about the world, and then you make a film. She was always brilliant. And then when I met her, she said, "Thank you for the screenplay. I really like it. I'm going to do it, but you got to know one thing, I don't like children." Yeah, and I get it. Like I could have been a director who will say to her, "This is your class, go improvise," It was kind of she was kind of protecting herself from that. And we would be good cop, bad cop on set, saying like, I would be their best friend, and she would keep the authority. Her intuition was just so great, and she barely asked any questions. I've never seen that. Oftentimes we would wrap up early because, as I said, I really tried to make not more than 3 takes. She would make an offer. First offer would be great. I'd say, okay, let's move on. My DP would turn to me and say, don't you want to do another take? And I said, okay, let's do one more. So, and then we would do two takes and be ready, be finished by an hour early. So my producer was very happy. You only have 3 hours per day in Germany. That's the right.
3 hours?
Yeah, that's the law. You have 3 hours that you can have the kids in front of the camera and 5 hours that you can have them on set. I would really take half an hour, 45 minutes in the morning before even just shooting anything. The set would be ready, and I would just talk to them. I would just really talk to them about life, because I was also genuinely interested in their minds. I wanted to know what they dream of, what they are scared of, what their relationship to their parents is, how hard is it for them to apologize, and why? Why is it hard for you to apologize? And in those conversations, I would really get them into a certain temperature, and then I'd say, okay, let's go. Now we go into the scene, and and then Leonie would take over. There was this one moment where they, of course, they're children. And sometimes they are, what are we going to have for lunch and all? And I kind of said to them, guys, I just want you to understand one thing. Here's the truth. We're all going to die. We're all going to die, but this film will be around, and your kids and your grandkids will watch it. So you better make sure you get this right. You perform your best. And
it worked.
Apparently. The thing about working with kids that age is that, on the one hand, you need to be aware of their vulnerabilities, But on the other hand, you cannot treat them like kids. I said to all of them, I'm not your boss, we're colleagues. Like, I want you to understand that's separation. We're colleagues, and like it's work. What we're doing here is like we're putting ourselves to the service of something, of art, of film, of whatever you want to call it. But it's not like, oh, I'm in a movie. That's not about it. This process, it's sacred. The sacred thing is right here, right now, happening. It's not the red carpet. It's not any press. It's not any, premiere or anything. It's right here. This is the sacred thing.